One of the youngest prospects in the Red Sox farm system is already getting comparisons to RAFAEL DEVERS. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and some of you guys may remember this offseason during the international free agent pool signing period, the period where you can sign international free agents that are going to end up being prospects like DEVERS, like Julio Rodriguez, guys like that. One of the players the Red Sox signed had scouts very excited, and it was a kid by the name of Yoeilin Cespedes. Well, Cespedes has started his journey towards Major League Baseball, and it's been really exciting so far. So what we are going to do in today's videos, we're going to break down what Yoeilin Cespedes has done so far during his professional baseball career. We're going to talk about why he's getting comparisons to RAFAEL DEVERS, what that means for Yoeilin, and we're going to talk about what the future of Yoeilin could look like, as well as what his path to the majors may be. But before we get into that, Foco has officially partnered with Sports Illustrated to bring you guys one of the most unique and exciting Red Sox collectibles available anywhere. Foco has just released a David Ortiz retirement bobblehead that features the cover of his Sports Illustrated issue on it in the background. The bobblehead is based on the cover of that Sports Illustrated issue. Now, there were only 100 of these made, so if you are a person who loves to collect Red Sox memorabilia, David Ortiz memorabilia, Red Sox history memorabilia, this is a must have. To get this Red Sox bobblehead, this limited 100 item release bobblehead, click the link in the description, head over to Foco and get yourself a piece of Red Sox history today. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So for those of you who may not know who Yoeilin Cespedes is already, or maybe you just need a refresher as to how he got here, like I mentioned in the intro, Yoeilin was signed this offseason, the 2023 offseason, during the international free agent pool signing period. The Red Sox signed him to a signing bonus of $1.4 million, which was the biggest signing bonus given out by the Boston Red Sox during this period, and it was because of what Yoeilin Cespedes' potential could look like, right? Right off the bat, Yoeilin has very quick wrists and a really compact swing that allows him to generate a lot of raw natural power for a 17-year-old player. Now, because of this swing, a lot of scouts believe as he matures, as he gets older, as he starts to put on weight, he could generate a lot of raw natural power to all sides of the field. So that's really exciting off the bat. But on top of that too, Yoeilin Cespedes isn't just a power hitting player. He also has really great bat to ball skills, which may sound a bit ridiculous, right? Corbin, he's a baseball player. Of course, he can put the bat to the ball, but what Yoeilin Cespedes can do is make really good contact on a lot of really good pitches, which is a fantastic thing to have just naturally as a 17-year-old prospect. You combine the fact that he has that natural power with that contact ability, and he also has a very good plate approach. It makes him a very intriguing offensive potential type prospect. Now, one of the things that scouts did also mention in Yoeilin Cespedes' scouting report is the fact that he likes to expand the strike zone. Because he has that natural contact ability, because he has a pretty good plate approach, and because he has a lot of raw natural power, he tends to expand the strike zone and swing at pitches and hit pitches that not a lot of other players can do. So that's starting to remind you of another Dominican-born Red Sox player that may be currently on this Red Sox team, because it should. It's a very similar player profile to when the Red Sox signed RAFAEL DEVERS. So right off the bat, there are some similarities in Yoeilin Cespedes' plate approach and swing that remind people of RAFAEL DEVERS. But either way, now that we've sort of caught ourselves up with who Yoeilin Cespedes is, let's talk about what he's done so far in his first season of professional baseball. Cespedes has officially begun his journey to Major League Baseball, starting in the Dominican Summer League, which is sort of a little bit of a step down from the Florida Gulf Coast League. I think, in my opinion, they're pretty similar, right? One of them is usually for U.S. high school players, whereas the Dominican Summer League is more for Dominican high school players. So there's not a ton of difference between the two, but usually what happens is you start in the Dominican Summer League and make your way to the Florida Gulf Coast League, for anyone who is curious about that. But either way, Yoeilin Cespedes has officially started his path path to the major leagues in the Dominican Summer League, and he has not disappointed. So far this year, he has played in 31 games, and Cespedes has a 328 average with a 371 on base percentage and a 522 slug, good for an 893 OPS or a 128 WRC plus, which means right now he is about 28% more productive at the plate than the average hitter in the Dominican Summer League. On top of that too, Cespedes already has 4 home runs, including one that he hit 469 feet. He also has 10 doubles and 2 triples to go along with that. Almost half of his hits so far in the Dominican Summer League have gone for extra bases, and one of them was almost hit 500 feet. That's pretty impressive. We also talked about his really advanced plate approach for a kid his age. Well, so far in the Dominican Summer League, that has proven to remain the same. Right now, his strikeout rate is sitting at 9.1%, which is a pretty good strikeout rate, and his walk rate isn't very far behind, sitting at 6.3%. Right now, he only has 4 more strikeouts than he does walks. He currently has 13 strikeouts and 9 walks. So not only has that power shown through early in his professional journey to Major League Baseball, but that advanced plate approach and that contact ability have also shown themselves as well, which is a really great sign. Because of what he's done so far in the DSL, he's already been quoted from a person within the Red Sox organization at the Dominican Summer League in an Alex Spear article saying, already Cespedes looks like he's one of the top hitting prospects to come through this organization's academy since RAFAEL DEVERS. That is a really big comparison to put on a 17-year-old kid. RAFAEL DEVERS is certainly not a bad player at all. That's a big comparison to make. So what does this comparison mean? What does what he's done so far mean? What does his scouting report mean for not only Cespedes, but the Boston Red Sox as well? Obviously, I think on all fronts, this is all around great news, right? For Yoeilin Cespedes, a 17-year-old kid making his first appearance in professional baseball, you want to make a really great impression, and to be compared to RAFAEL DEVERS right off the bat and saying that you're one of the better bats to come through the Dominican Summer League since RAFAEL DEVERS is a really, really great way to start. So it's really great news for Yoeilin Cespedes, but it's also a lot of pressure too. One of the things I hate in general are people comparing these minor league players, especially these really young minor league players like Yoeilin Cespedes, to great major league players, specifically ones who are currently the best player in their organization, right? Because what it does is it puts this sort of box for this player to be in. Because if Yoeilin Cespedes gets to the major league level and we say, oh man, this could be the next Dominican type, RAFAEL DEVERS type player, and he's not, or he's something else, then it's gonna feel like a failure regardless of whether or not he's a productive player. So I don't love putting these comparisons onto people, but I do think this is a really great sign for such a young prospect to be getting comparisons to RAFAEL DEVERS. I think this means that he's an advanced player who could really make a mark on this Red Sox team. So at the end of the day, I think it's a really great thing for Yoeilin Cespedes, but I also think it's a bit of a double-edged sword as well, where the pressure from being compared to the best player within your organization could be something that he may never be able to live up to, and I hate seeing that. But overall, again, a good thing for Yoeilin Cespedes. As for what this means for the Red Sox, I think it's a really, really great sign for their development, right? Specifically their scouting and their development. So far this year, the Red Sox minor league system has had a lot of players make big leaps forward. Roman Anthony has sort of come out of nowhere a little bit, right? Blaze Jordan has really improved overall over his entire game. Nick Yorke bounced back in a big way. Shane Drohan took a major step forward, right? And now you add Yoeilin Cespedes to this list, and the Red Sox development team, the Red Sox scouting team is starting to really impress a lot of people, not only within this fan base, but within Major League Baseball as well. So having a guy like Yoeilin Cespedes, who at 17 years old is really impressing people already, is again a really great thing for the Red Sox. And obviously having these type of guys within your system as they make their way through the minor leagues is always a great thing as well. Now, in terms of Yoeilin Cespedes' timeline, unfortunately for us, unfortunately for the Red Sox, he is a really far ways away, right? I mean, the kid's only 17 years old. He's not getting the call-up anytime soon. The Sox Prospects has Yoeilin Cespedes with an ETA of 2028. I think that might be a little bit far out. I could see it being 2027, but either way, you're probably looking at 4 or 5 years until we start hearing Yoeilin Cespedes' name knocking on the door of being a type of player that could make an impact at the major league level. And on top of that too, there is so many variables in a player who's only 17 years old, right? So many things can happen between 17 and 21, 22, 23, whenever he makes his major league debut. He still has to get to the United States, start playing within the Red Sox minor league system. I'm talking low A, high A, double A, triple A. He's also got to get to the Florida Gulf Coast League. So you're talking about getting up through 5 levels of the Red Sox minor league system to get to Major League Baseball. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty long ways out, and it all sort of depends on how well Yoeilin Cespedes adjusts to every level he's put at, right? Because he's doing well in the Dominican Summer League, but it could take him a year to develop into the Florida Gulf Coast League. It could take him a year to adjust to single A pitching. It could take him a year to adjust to double A pitching, or it could take him a half year like we saw with Roman Anthony and people like that. So in my opinion, in terms of the timeline, it's way too early to figure out exactly when Yoeilin Cespedes is going to come up, because there's just so many variables with a kid who's only 17 years old. But at the end of the day, the player in the Red Sox system getting compared to RAFAEL DEVERS is absolutely living up to that name at this moment. And again, it's super early. I'm not going to put this is the next Dominican superstar for the Red Sox title on Yoeilin Cespedes yet, but all the tools are there. Offensively, he's a fairly decent defender, but if he can hit the way he's been hitting, I don't think anyone's going to care about his defensive metrics, right? Either way, this is a kid that if you're a Red Sox fan and you're wondering sort of what the longer pipeline in terms of what the Red Sox could be bringing up may look like, this is a kid to keep your eye on. He is definitely someone who I think has the potential to be a really great player in Major League Baseball. But again, we're talking about a small sample size. We're talking about a lot of variables. And at the end of the day, he's 17 years old. But all of this is just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of Yoeilin Cespedes? What do you think of what he's done so far? What do you think about someone saying he's the best hitting prospect to come through the Dominican Summer League since RAFAEL DEVERS? What do you think of what his path may look like? And what do you think super early on his impact on the Boston Red Sox could look like? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, if you like collecting unique and exciting Red Sox memorabilia, click the link in my description of this video to get your limited edition out of 100 Red Sox David Ortiz retirement bobblehead. There's only gonna be 100 of these made, so if you like collecting, this is a must-have item. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.